Oh, we've actually got people. Alright. Hello, everybody. Hello, truck that just went past, or whatever you were. Alright, don't have a lot of time this evening, just thought I'd catch up. It's been a little while since I last did a stream. Things have been a bit hectic. I've got a 1502 that I need to have a look at, so I thought I'd do that while I'm just catching everybody up on what's been going on and why I haven't been around, things like that. Hello, Pernov. Pernov, also, by the way, do you know if there's a way to re-encode a decoded FZ file? Because hilariously, I've got one that a person has sent me, and it has that units millimeter declaration at the start of it when you decode it, but it's actually meant to be thou. So the board, instead of being a 8-10 inch board or whatever, is actually about 8 meters in size, so all the pads are very tiny. So I can make the modification, but I haven't worked out how to re-encode it back into proper FZ format. I suppose the other thing I can do is just simply find a way to just make it look for the decoded data to start with and say this file is not encoded, so let's just process it raw. Yeah, I just thought I'd let you know. It's on the Discord that I'm talking about that. And Justin C, Phantom By, D-Ice, Cormac. Hello, Cormac. Mr. Hutton. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. I actually used to live next door to a couple of Huttons. That was a long time ago now. Alright, so we've got a 1502 that needs a bit of work. I'm not actually sure what's wrong with it. It may not even be a board fault. For all I know, it could be just, what do you call it? My screen's out of tilt here. There we go. And yeah, we're kind of a little off kilter there. Hey, JCT, Gustavo, and Dragon. Not too late, no. Just realised the microscope's out. Things may not be functioning as per normal at the moment. Please, for the love of goodness sake, tell me that my... Oh, good. I was worried I'd left my Pentalobe driver downstairs or something. Hey, ZX. Good to see you. Alrighty. So, well, I guess the one thing for the regular followers who are wondering, with regards to micro, let's see, I just did there. We've, about a week and a half ago or so, he went off basically all of his food, which even the best of the best food that he normally cannot resist. So we finally took him in for a blood test, with figured things had just gotten way too far out of hand, and the anxiety penalty of taking him down to the vet for a blood test was the lesser of evils in this case. So we got him down there, and it turns out anyway that he's diabetic. So we're kind of beating ourselves up pretty badly over that now. But we've got him on treatment already. Oh, that's right, everyone knows he was diabetic. I told you that last time. We've got him on treatment. He's on 2 units at the moment, twice a day. And right now he's already stabilized quite well, even though it's only been a week. And unfortunately yesterday we had to put him through a bit of a process, because we had to have the vet come over and do the ear prick for 4 sessions during the day. And the poor little guy wasn't too keen on that, but we had to do it to see if his diabetic response curve was good enough. So FZ uses symmetric encryption, so you could encrypt it back and compress. Might be better, easier just to read the decrypted files directly though. Yeah, that's what I was trying to weigh up, Pernov. I think you're right. I think we'll go for the direct decoding. The only thing with the FZ is that it's got that 2-part section. It's got the board data, and then it's got the description data at the end of it. So I have to work out how to indicate the separate different sizes, because when you decode it, it actually there's a split function and breaks into the 2 sections. But yeah, as far as I know, it's RC6. I've seen Yeah, the problem we've got is apparently this is having troubles with the SSD. So I'm just going to have a look around on the board, see if there's anything obvious. Unfortunately, my bench is bowed at the moment again. I've got to learn to build these benches with 2 layers, so basically like 2-inch thick plywood with 2 layers. Now I know I'm looking over in the screen section and stuff like that, like I mean that is the connector there. Nothing obvious on that connector. Ricardo, I'm not exactly explicitly sure what they classify the type as for this condition. We haven't been told exactly. But interestingly, with cats, it can go into remission after insulin treatment. He is insulin resistant at this point. Yeah, that camera connector there is way out. It can't be too great. But certainly already by tossing out all the carb junk and sugar potentials out of his great, that's just fallen off, has already seemed to have improved things, and certainly he seems to be doing well on the 2 units. Thoughts on your favourite iPhone 7 replacement screen? To be honest, Aaron, I am really bad with that sort of thing. I just don't know. I buy them from my supplier, and whatever they're supplying me with, I'm fine with. I buy the refurb ones. Very rarely do I buy the aftermarket. I will have 1 or 2 aftermarkets in my storage box, just simply as throwaway testers if I have to. Paul, whereabouts in Australia? Are you in Australia, Paul? You got 1278s. Do you know what models they are? Are they 2936 or 3115s or what? Not that I should be picky, but just more curious, because there are certain models that I've already got quite a few of, and I can see a blemish on the connector that I just pulled up there. Hey GGWP, I'm doing better today. Let's see, can I trade you 82001 041 schematics board if you don't have it yet against a real Ford 26? Send me a message, Pilnov. I'm pretty sure I've got those floating around. At least I think I have. If Lewis should have them, then I should have them. Maybe. Hey 3X. Let's see. Ascardian. Oh, crikey, Paul. You're Mr. Hutton, I should say. You're on the other side of this continent. I know you guys can't see what I'm looking at. Not sure why the automated switcher. Oh, I know why it's not on. Because the other day. There we go. The other day, my entire Ethernet network just suddenly stopped working. And it turned out that this actual machine was doing something. I don't know what it was doing, but it was killing the packets and doing a damn good job of it. Hey Virgon, Peter. Okay, Paul. No, I appreciate that. Okay, we do have our automated switcher back on. Oh, thank goodness for that. You don't realise how much how convenient having this sort of thing is until you don't have it anymore. I mean, manual switching? Hell no. I'm over that. Oh, that was one that I haven't done. So I'm getting pretty good at the injections now with micro. Thankfully, like I said, it's only a 2-unit injection, so that is fairly quick and easy. Hey, Johnny Olsen from Norway. Hey, Jellybean. It's Eric Limbergs. Hi, Paul. Sorry for not getting back to you earlier. Customer decided they didn't need anything from their phone. No, right. Oh, that's fine, Eric. I mean, geez, I get that all the time anyway. Well, the ones I really hate is when you get told to go ahead, recover data, and then you never hear back from them again. And eventually, through just the joy of the universe, you find out that they went home that night or whatever and realised they had a backup of their data somewhere and they didn't bother to tell you. And they just let you carry on trying to recover the data, and then they'll sort of go, oh, I don't need it anymore, man. I already found it. So, well, thank you very much, asshole. And you know, you can write an invoice, but you know you're never going to see a cent of that invoice. It's just the way it goes, unfortunately. Warren, I haven't been around anyway. So it's just been a what do you call it? A process of just getting used to everything, getting used to giving needles, getting used to watching the diet, getting used to just everything, and of course watching to make sure that his behaviour stays good, because obviously you don't want him to go into any form of a diabetic coma from low blood sugar. I should actually say, what is it, hypoglycemic, because that's very bad. Yeah, the only thing I've got to try and do is find someone that I know who is a diabetic so that I can get cheaper vials of Lantus, insulin, and all the other stuff. Because to buy it normally, like with no, subsidy or anything like that, a 10 milliliter vial of insulin is 130 Australian dollars, which in all honesty isn't terrible. And I mean, I'll certainly keep paying that, that's not a problem at all. But it'd be fun to not have to. But then again, I'll be relying on and we found our problem here. It's just glowing out at me like a piece of uranium oxide. Paul, certainly if you can send me an email, I would love to see what we can do. I'm always on the lookout for bits and pieces. Alright, so there's a piece of uranium oxide snot. Probably blasted clean out of the Incredible Hulk's nose the other week. We've lost probably a couple. Oh yeah, that part just came clean off. Yeah, maybe it was Thanos' attempt of reducing everything by half. He's got too many parts on this board. We need to cut it down by half. Yeah, well, Dave, certainly Micro does seem to be getting a lot better today, or the last couple of days. The vet was very happy with his progress because his response curve was, geez, this really has done a fair bit of damage. His response curve was very much how it should be, and that was pretty good considering it's only been a week. So I think certainly the diet has greatly contributed to that. And since we do not have human clones or human critters, we put all our time and money into our fur kids. Okay, so it's a 3476 board. I'm gonna bring that up and have a look. No. 3476. Keyboard, you're too far away. Yeah, well, I'll do. Hello, Mr. Parada. Looks like the YouTube algorithm's been a little bit aggressive there. Let's see if my all-in works. All-in works. What board am I working on? This is an 820-3476 from an A1502. And it looks like it's, I don't know, 2013, 2014 version. Okay, what we're looking for is spin this around. Spin right round, baby. It's in one of those real mishmash areas where nothing is obvious. I think it's about it there. What are we looking at? No. Oh, up here. There we go. I probably need to heat this up just to see what's going on. Hey, Jamie Domini. Yeah, it'd be nice if all board faults were as blatantly obvious as this. And I gotta say, we're pretty damn lucky that this one just popped out. Because there's plenty of repair jobs I do where it's nothing like this, where it's just the board is absolutely pristine and you have got pretty much nothing to go on. This is quite a train wreck down here. I might try new tweezers just to see if they're any good or whether they're complete crap. Hey, Brian Beck. These are the new ultra fine ones that you may have seen Union Repair advertising. I bought a couple of them. I think they're really meant more for iPhones, of course. I can see they just won't really have a lot of pulling power. I gotta admit, they already feel sturdier than the damn titanium ones. The titanium ones were an interesting idea, but the problem is it's just too soft. Yeah, they're okay, but they certainly don't buckle as much as the titanium ones, but I can see they won't last long on a MacBook board. We'll leave them to iPhone boards, and we'll stick to our very robust ones here. Supposedly this board has been running fairly okay for a while, and then it just started getting a little bit dodgy, and I'm not surprised. Okay, so we've definitely lost 3 parts. We may have issues up here. That corrosion may have gone in under the cap pad. When I say cap, I mean the cap of the actual part itself, not a capacitor. Okay, so we've got this row of caps above that, and then this cluster of 3 in here. Okay, so it's these ones here that are all gone. R1620. There we go, there's pretty much our big reason it's been having trouble. 1620 is the SSD power enable pull up. Or pull down, I can't see if it's... it's a pull up, yep. What about 1805? 1805 is some sort of CPU reset low. Platform reset, well, yep, that's gonna make a difference. And 1452 is PCIe wake. Okay, so those 3 were very critical resistors. And I'm a little scared about this one here. That scares me a little bit. If that corrosion has gone down on that veer, I don't know where that veer goes. It goes straight to... There's going to be a CPU on the other side of this, isn't there? Oh dear God. Alright, so if this pad is corroded, we're going to be in trouble. Dragon, you know, I've tried... I actually like grabbing by the end caps. Don't ask me why, I just do. See, the thing is, because I'm actually also often heating the tweezers to actually try and give it more thermal mass. But I know what you're saying. I've tried it both ways, and I seem to end up preferring to hold the end caps. See, sometimes also, if you're nearly at the point of melting, you can use the tweezer tips to induce the melt by disrupting the crystalline structure. You can often see it happening particularly when you've got big caps. Oh, that is gone. Okay, that's not the one we're worried about though, although there is a frickin' veer there. It's going to be a real problem. But it's this one here that please, 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 please do not have lost this veer. Oh jeez, there's corrosion going right into it. This is going to be exploratory surgery. I mean, obviously it's been working, but it's a case of it may now have actually gone too far. Yeah, that veer's a goner. That one probably feeds into this, but we might be able to get that one, because that's just 3v3s5. So we can get that. It's the PCI Wake L that we need to not have lost. There must be something left of it though, because we have supposedly been working. But I'm not sure how far I've got to go. Is this it? Maybe savable yet. Alright, so the veer is in the middle. That in itself is a little bit scary. See if we can maybe solder and flux it out a little bit. Don't you hate that about the internet, Dragon? People do things just as you already said them. Unfortunately, this tip isn't the best for doing this. I'll just clean up this other stuff while I'm at it. Okay, we have actually a little bit of hope here. I don't know if it's showing up on the camera or not, but the pad actually hooks around. It isn't straight down. On the layer below, I can see there's a copper running from it. Okay, I don't know if it's going to get down to that. You can just barely see that there's a little sort of a hook coming off that veer. And the question is whether that is going to the pad, the ball, or whether it's doing something else, because there's other pads on the board that need that line. Now the other way that it can go, if we can't get through on this one, is maybe there is another trace at a shallower layer, something closer to the CPU ball. We might be able to get through with that. So we'll just have to try. Yeah, the lag is a problem. I really wish I could find a way around that. Like if we could drop it to about a 5-second lag, or even 10, I think it would probably save a lot of arguments on the internet. But the whole 20-30 second thing, it's just maddening. Ooh, that reminds me, I have finally got a use for this. I'll be right back in about 20 seconds, maybe 30. Hey, David Legault. Alright. One good thing about having diabetic things in the house. Diabetic syringes. Now this has a 0.3mm needle on it. And I'm hoping that might be enough to help me pick out that veer. Although it looks like I probably need about 0.2, and I don't think such things exist in needles. The 0.3 is a pretty good start. If you had a PCH blow like that, then yeah, I'd be wondering whether maybe... What chip did you change? The ISL 6 to whatever thingamajig, I don't know, I can't remember those names, I'm not a professional. I'd say you might have ended up somehow maybe shorting the wrong lines. But it could also have just been pure bad luck, because on the 165, yes, the PCH certainly does have a habit of dying, and in a spectacular fashion. Brian, no, those electronic solder suckers are basically no use at all for this sort of work. They're just simply too big, too aggressive. I'm just twirling this needle into the via, and I'm getting copper coming up. Look at that. Micro's diabetes has saved this board, maybe. Who would have thought? Glad to see I'm not the only one who doesn't know the name of the chips that we all replace. I mean, I'll know things like LP8550 and TriStar and stuff like that, but I'm not some walking encyclopedia for this stuff. I need to get some paste down into there, I think. Now, before you suggest it, no, I'm not going to be able to inject paste into it because the ball size of the paste is probably... well, the relative viscosity is just going to be too much. I can try to put some paste in there. Paul, when it comes to caps, I have got tote boxes full of them. Again, it depends on what size and things like that. Like if they're... God damn it, my paste is all ruined. Anyone would think this is an advert for good reasons to become diabetic. It's not. I need to dry that before I do this. Okay. Now a little bit of paste. What am I talking about? A little bit of flux. Well, I'm hoping I don't have to actually use the curvy thing. I want to see if I can get a little... oh, yeah, 46110, that's right. Damn it, that just popped it. It's pretty hard to do this directly under the CPU because the board won't get hot enough. And we have contact. We did have contact. Will it go back? No, it didn't actually bond in. I'll try again. It feels like just something flaked off, that's all. Hey Nicholas Hardy. And Mr. Ryu. Yeah, that just... I think I was a bit of false hope then. Try a bit more paste. Have another shot. Yeah, it's definitely where a micro pencil is very useful. It's not something I've got. Oh, you just gathered up all the balls from the wrong places. So what's happening is a ball will go down there, but the bobbling of the flux tends to push it back up out of where it needs to go. But it is getting down there, and I think we just then managed to get something down there. I'm going to drop a pre-made ball in there. Hey Luke, I've got my USB digital multimeter oscilloscope. Everything got to use on... Oh right, you even got to use it on stream already. Cool. Why didn't I see that? I guess I wasn't watching out. Too busy doing other things. See if quarter mil balls are a little bit too... Unfortunately the weather here is heating up in a very unpleasant way. It's not even officially winter yet, and it's already unpleasant. This stream may be cut short in a little bit because I have to go and give Micro his injection. Okay, those are quarter mil balls, and even they're too big. I'm just hoping that maybe I'll get lucky. Jenny Tills, yes, trying to fix this via because it's basically directly on top of a CPU ball that we need, and it's corroded quite badly, and I'm worried that the corrosion has gone all the way through to prevent us from being able to use other locations. And this is for the PCIe wake up. So we do kind of need it. I'm just going to move this resistor off to the side so that I can get an idea of what's going on under the pad. The resistor itself is cactus. You saw just then when I touched the end of that resistor, it went from appearing solid, it pretty much straight away went nice and liquid. And that's sort of what I was referring to. Okay, so that's a fairly solid pad there. What I want to see though is that connected to what I need? Yeah, Travis, I know, it's just been crazy. Where is my multimeter and why don't you want to talk? Wow. Alright, multimeter's alive. Hey Sonia, good to see you. Hope you're doing okay. I'm not going to say well, because let's face it, most of our lives we're all doing just well enough, rather than anything truly great. Alright, so let's see. So 3v3s5. Am I losing my reference here? Okay, right, yep. And we're just going to see if we've got continuity between, say, there and there. And they'll let us know whether we've... Of course, not to say that it doesn't come out of the backside of the large cap. It's weird. You should apparently have continuity to there and there, but you don't. But you three should. Oh, I know why. Thanks everyone. You know, it helps if I'm in the right mode. Yeah, I definitely don't have it there. And Dragon's in too late, because I've already fixed the fault before he can tell me, even though in his time span... Okay, that's interesting. Okay, so those definitely connect, but we've definitely lost it to here. So we can basically just take it from up here and reconnect to there, and we're good. So we'll put this resistor down, and sweet Bridget, I hope we can do something with this. Way too much flux. We do not approve of excessive flux consumption here. That's the word for it. Damn it. Yep. So 1405 is a 1K. And what size are you? Should be 201. 1K 201. Nothing too critical, thankfully. As we pull out these really dodgy, super dodgy strips. Yeah, look at that. There we go. I think I'm actually just going to have to throw these sample books out, to be honest. These sample books, just going to throw them out. There's too much risk of cross-contamination of the parts. And then Dragon goes, but Paul, you're holding it in the middle now with putting it down. And you're absolutely right, I am. It's when I'm picking them up that I tend to hold them by the end caps. So what I want to do is I need to test this ball to see if that does actually go to another place on the board where we have that same pin. So PCI wake L. Okay, so we've got something down here on this chip. Thank goodness for that. It's not too far away. 6-pin. Sorry about the focus issues. I'll blame the carpenter who installed my board bench, which unfortunately is also me. Okay, so it should be this pad here and that ball. Let us pray we have continuity. That is a beautiful sound. Okay, I've got about 8 minutes before I've got to go and do the injection. Now I've got to think about how I want to do this. If I put a resistor right next to that, well actually if I put anything, to be honest, that ball of solder is going to wick onto the end cap of that resistor, which could pull it away from the via that's underneath. I mean, it's not guaranteed going to do that, but it could do it. I'm also wondering maybe I should put these two resistors down first before I go on with the delicate stuff. So yeah, I think I might do that first. Let's clean these pads up. Make them presentable. Unlike me on my high school prom night. But hey, I was just out to... No, I couldn't care less. Actually, that's not true. I cared about high school formal night. Yeah, I have a choice. I can do the injection and come back and leave the stream running, or I can just stop the stream, come back, start the stream again. I kind of thinking I will do the stop and then restart, because otherwise I might be, while I'm trying to do the injection, distracted. Getting real close to knocking that damn ball out. Yeah, you make a good point there, Rodrigo. I mean, yeah, you do have more room to play, but then maybe I actually don't want more room. Maybe I'm kind of hoping for the more restrictive sense so that... Well, you see, my real problem is, after I've done it, I really don't want to disturb it. And I'm worried stuffing around with these, particularly that these are going to want hot air, will have a tendency to disturb it. No, we're not doing live injection. $26. I probably should be getting up, otherwise my better half is going to start wondering where I am. Yeah. $100K. Okay. Alright, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop and then I'll come back, okay? So, it's just the way it's going to play out. So I'll see you maybe when I get back.